Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to morning Bhagavatam class. This morning we'll be continuing from hearing from Srila Prabhupada on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Verse 21. We request devotees to please increase your volume. And if we can take at least one takeaway that we can discuss at the end of the class, that would be really, really nice. Without further delay, we will start the class. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari परिव्राजकाचार्य सत्तर सदस्यमान भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव मिलन की जय। रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। स्वामीत भक्तवृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द आत्मा। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द आत्मा। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द आत्मा। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 21. Tata Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parasharat Chakre Veda Taro Shakha Drishtva Pungso Alpa Medasaha Tatak Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parasharat Chakre Vedataro Shaka Drishtava Pungsolpa Medasa Tatak Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parasharat Chakre Vedataro Shaka Drishtava Pungsolpa Medasa Tatak Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parasharat Chakre Vedataro Shaka Drishtava Pungsolpa Medasa
Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parasarat Chakre Vedataro Shakha Drishtava Pungsolpa Medasa Tata Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parashat Chakre Vedataro Shaka Punsolpa Medasa Tata Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parasharat Chakre Vedataro Shaka Drishtava Pungsolpa Medasa Saptadashe Jata Satyavatyam Parasharat Chakre Vedataro Shaka
Ladies. Satyavatyam parasarat Chakre Veda Taro Sakha Dishtya Pumsal Pamedasa Tasapta Dasi Yataha Satyavatyam parasarat Chakre Veda Taro Sakha Pumsal Pamedasa Tasapta Dasi Yataha Satyavatyam parasarat Chakre Veda Taro Sakha Pumsal Pamedasa
Satyavatyam parasarat Chakre Veda Taro Sakha Drisva Pumso Pamedasaha
That's all. What means?
Tataha. Thereafter. Saptadashe. In the 17th incarnation. Jata. Advented. Satyavatyam. In the womb of Satyavati. Parasharat. By Parashara Muni. Chakre. Prepared. Vedataro. Of the desire tree of the Vedas. Shaka. Branches. Drishtva. By seeing. Pungsa. The people in general. Alpamedasa. Less intelligent. Translation. Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati, wife of Parashara Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent.
So, this Parashara actually was not husband of Satyavati. When Satyavati was not married, Parashara gave birth to Vyasdeva. Later on, Satyavati became the wife of Maharaj Santanu, father of Bhishma Deva. This Satyavati was the daughter of a fisherman. She was neither born of a Brahmin father or Kshatriya father. So formally, a higher caste man could accept a girl born of lower caste. But a lower caste man could not accept a girl born of higher caste. That was the system. Because in the Shastra it is ordinary say, instructive shastra, just like Chanakya in his moral lessons, he says that Vishadapi amritam grahyam. When there is a tub of poison, but if there is little nectar, then you take it. Don't think that it is in the poison pot. Why shall I take it? No, you can take it. Vishadapamritam grayam amidhyat apikanchanam. Suppose in a very filthy place where people pass to live in, there is some gold. So you should take it. Don't think that because the gold is in the polluted place, a gold has become polluted. No, you take it. Vishadapamritam grajyam amidyadapikanjanam nichadaputtama vidya. Vidya, education, was to be received from a Brahmin, because it was the Brahmin's business to become highly learned scholar and make others educated. Teacher's business was entrusted to the Brahmins, administration to the Kshatriyas, production to the Vaishya, and labor to the Shudra. So, because generally we have to take education from highly learned Brahmin, but if a person born in low family, he has got some talent, education, so don't hesitate, take from him. Not that, he is low born, why shall I take education from him? No, the Shastra says, no, you can take. It doesn't matter. He has got the learning, you take that, make him a teacher. Nichadaputtama vidya Sri Ratnam Duskuladapi. Sri Ratnam, if a girl is very qualified, beautiful, even she is born of a low family, you can accept. This is the injunction of the Shastras. So, Satyavati happened to be a daughter of a fisherwoman, but she was very qualified, beautiful. So, before her marriage, Vyasdeva was born out of her womb. It is not that before marriage girls were not giving birth to child. It was there, the society, but the society was so elevated that this was not done commonly, in extraordinary cases. So Satyavati gave birth to Vyasdeva, such a son, Vyasdeva, incarnation of God. Vyasdeva is not ordinary being. Incarnation of Narayana. And he was meant for expanding Vedic knowledge. Then again, Vyasdeva was born, but nobody could understand. She remained a virgin girl. By the blessings of Parasar Muni, then she was again attractive to Maharaj Santanu. Maharaj Santanu became attracted by Satyavati and he wanted to marry. But Maharaj Santanu had his son, So her father objected. So a king proposed to the fisherman that I want to marry your girl. So the father said, no, I cannot allow my girl to marry with you because you are already married, you have got your son. The elderly son, Bhishma Dev. So he was a little sorry, Santanu Maharaj. The son could understand that the father is sorry because he has refused the hand of the girl, Satyavati. So he approached he approached the father of Satyavati. Why are you refusing my father? No, you are present. How can I offer my daughter? No, even if I am present, because the law is the eldest son will be enthroned after the death of the father. So he was eldest son. The Satyavati's father was hesitating. So Bhishma Dev promised that I will not accept the throne. The child born of Satyavati, he will accept. He will be given the throne. To give your daughter to my father. He still refused. He still, well, our son may be king, but then again your son will become king. In this way he was hesitating. The Bhishma Dev immediately promised that I shall never marry. Don't hesitate. In this way, he induced the fisherman to give his daughter to his father. The father could understand that my son is so great that he wanted to satisfy. I wanted this girl and he has managed. So he gave him a benediction to Bhishma Dev. My dear son, you are so benevolent, so magnanimous, so I give you one benediction that he will not die unless he desire to die. Unless you fix up your mind, now I shall die, you will never die. You remain a very strong brahmachari. So Bhishma remained very strong brahmachari. There is another incident of Bhishma Dev's life, that Pandu Vangsha. So one girl was attracted. So she was conquered. So the girl thought that I will be able to marry Bhishma Dev. But when she came at home, Bhishma Dev said, no, you have been conquered to be married with my brother. I am brahmachari, I cannot marry you. So the girl said that you have kidnapped me, conquered me, you must marry. So, no, I shall not marry. Then the girl approached to his spiritual master, this Jamadagni, Bhrigupati, that this boy, he has conquered me, still he is not marrying me. So Jamadagni said, Bhishma, you must marry this girl. Bhishma says, no, I have promised to my father never to marry. I cannot marry. And then Jamadagni said, if you don't marry, then I will force you to marry. So there was fight between Bhishma, the spiritual master, and so the spiritual master became defeated. Then he gave his blessings. All right, he remained brahmachari. So this was the society principle, how to keep principle. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. A very exalted status of society. So this Satyavati, which is a famous woman in the history, Satyavati, the whole Pandu Vangsha from Satyavati. So now here it is said that Tata Saptadasi Jata Satyavatyang Parasarat. Parasarat, seminar given by Parasar Muni in the womb of Satyavati, Satyavatyam, and Chakri Vidataru Shakha. Veda, the knowledge, he divided, Vyasadeva, divided into many branches. Therefore, Vyasadeva is known as Veda Vyas. He expanded the Vedic knowledge. Formerly, there was only one Veda, Atharva Veda. And this Atharva Veda was learned by tradition, by hearing from the spiritual master. There was no book. Therefore, Veda is known as Shruti. Shruti means hearing. The spiritual master will recite Vedic mantra and the disciples will hear. Just like we chant Hare Krishna mantra or any other Vedic mantra, you hear. But there was no need of book. This memory was so sharp that once heard from the lips of the spiritual master, the students become completely well-versed. There is no need of book. But Vyasadeva saw the next age, this Kali Yuga, people will be less intelligent. Here it is stated, Drishtva Mungsa Alpamedhasam. Alpa means the brain substance, not in much quantity. This is psychologically true, that within the brain substance, if there is more, then one is more intelligent. So here is almost, just see modern scientific psychology and how it was known long, millions of years ago, at least 5,000 years ago. Alpamedhasa. And this is scientific fact. Those who are students of psychology, they know it. I was a student of psychology, and our professor, he was a Scotsman, he explained this brain substance, cerebral substance, Dr. Arquard, that the more brain substance is there, more one becomes intelligent. And it has been found that a woman does not have more than 36 ounces of brain substance. Whereas in man it has been found that he has got up to 64 ounces. This is modern science. Therefore, generally, woman less intelligent than man. You cannot find any big scientist, any big mathematician, any big philosopher amongst women. That is not possible. Although in your country you want equal status with man, freedom, but by nature you are less intelligent. What can be done? So therefore, woman is advised by the Manu Samhita, they should remain under the intelligent man, not declare freedom. That will be their life nice. Therefore it is advised that until one is married with an intelligent husband, she must remain under the control of her father. Still in India, until a girl is married, she cannot move freely. Where is our Samsundar? You know what happened about that Sarna girls? 2 girls in Nairobi, they wanted to join our society. So Brahmananda, as other girls are joining, he welcomed. But it created a havoc to the family of that girl. They went here and there, so the girl has gone out of home. There will be no marriage. That's a fact. In India is still a respectable family. If a young girl goes out of home for 3 days, it will be difficult, or she will not be married. So this is still I saw in Nairobi. So anyway, the system is unless one is married, a girl, she must remain under the control of the parents. Therefore, it is the parents' duty to see that the girl is married to a suitable boy. That is the duty. When the girl is married, then parents' duty is finished. Not by the age, up to this point. So, during young time, up to say 40 years, she should remain under the husband. And when there are grown-up children, she should remain. Just like that Mrs. Sharma, she is under the care of her elderly sons. So Manu Samhita says that no satantaram arahati striya. Woman should not become independent. She must remain. Just like that is not bad. Just like a child remains under the control of the parents, that is good. Similarly, woman remaining under the control of father or husband or elderly boy, that is good for them. And still they are very happy. Just like you see Kunti. Kunti was widow, but she was very qualified woman, so many ways, but still she remained under the control of the 5 boys, 5 children, Pandavas. Kunti also gave birth to a child before her marriage. That is Karna. That is Karna. So, it was not a common affair, but in extraordinary cases it so happened. So, now, in this age, people are not very intelligent. They are claiming we are advancing in science. The brain has advanced and so on, so on. Formerly, there was animal brain, the Darwin theory, now the brain has evolved. No. Actually, they are degrading. They degrade. Formerly, the brain was very sharp. Otherwise, why it is said, Drishtva Pungso Alpamedhasa. The opposite word of this Alpamedhasa is Sumedhasa. Alpa means less and Su means very nice. So Sumedhasa, we are all Alpamedhasa, less intelligent in this age. Out of so many Alpamedhasa rascals, in a harsh words, Alpamedhasa means rascal, less intelligent or no intelligence. So there is Sumedhasa. Sumedhasa, that is also stated. Jaggai sankirtanai prayai jajanti hi sumedhasa. Krishnavarnam tisha krishnam sangapangasta parsadam jaggai sankirtanai prayai jajanti hi sumedhasa. In this age, one should worship the incarnation of God, Krishna, if he is Sumedhasa, he is intelligent. Just like this Alpamedhasa, less intelligent. Sumedhasa means highly intellectual. How? Jaggai Sankirtanai Prai. Performing the Sankirtan Jagga. So those who are joining the Sankirtan Jagga, they are very intelligent. Sumedhasa. They are not all hodgepodge, Alpamedhasa. Something this, something that, something. No. Just fix up your mind in Sankirtan Jagga, your life will be successful. Therefore it is called Sumedhasa. Jaggai Sankirtanai Prai Jajanti hi Sumedhasa. So everything is there, Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the topmost knowledge. That is transcendental knowledge. That is not material knowledge. Material knowledge, if you write some book, it has no meaning because it is defective. But Srimad Bhagavatam is not ordinary knowledge. It is transcendental knowledge. There is no defect. This mundane brain is defective. We can't, just like our scientists, Sarudamada, you are speaking that they make experiment in the laboratory according to formula, but still there is some mistake. Still there is some mistake. Practically, advanced scientific knowledge means to find out mistakes. What is you speaking? What is the exact language you told?
So there is always some statistical factor, which is called error. Error is always creeping in.
So, nobody can be perfect. Therefore, all these so-called perfect leaders, they should close their business. It is already experimented, all nonsense. Come to Hare Krishna mantra and chant. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine
So, devotees, we had another wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada, all about intelligence and how to use our less intelligence in the proper way. So, would like to ask devotees if you have taken any one takeaway, any thoughts, any reflection, please do jump right in. You can raise your hand. You can just unmute yourself and share your takeaway. Yes, Madhuri.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble
Accept mine,
obeisance.
Mother.
Regards to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, we can speak on this for a week probably. And 2 points, of course, many points, but 2 points that stood out was the benediction that Bhishma Dev got, that he could die at will. And I was thinking, wish we had that, so we could, chant and go back to Godhead, decide, okay, now I'm ready to chant and go back. But, Bhishma Dev was Bhishma Dev, so he got that benediction. And second thing Srila Prabhupada said was that nobody is perfect. And here in this material world, we try to be perfect, in whatever we do. But he's saying it very clearly, nobody here is perfect. So these are the 2 points. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing that point, Mother. Yes, yeah. If we had wishful death, at least we know we can do more work to purify ourselves. And yes, no one is perfect. Sometimes we are always trying to find the perfect person, the perfect this, the perfect that. But this, I remember whenever I hear the word perfect, this, perfect that, I think of a comment that my husband used to tell me when we first got married. He would say that we don't live in an ideal world. He would always tell me that. So there's nothing that's perfect. That's right, Mother. Thank you. Yes, Prikshit, my husband, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful lecture. Prabhupada says things plainly, boldly. There's nothing to hide from anyone. But a few takeaways. Formerly, he said there was one Veda, Atharva Veda, and Vyasadeva divided up one Veda into branches. I have to admit, I knew that there was one Veda and he divided. I didn't know which one or what the name was. So it's wonderful to see the Prabhupada made it clear. So I've learned something from that. Atharva Veda is Shruti. Shruti means scripture that is heard, and then he went to the fact that people they have such good brains that they could hear and then also remember. And these days, brains, well, as Kali Yuga progresses, people's brains are not that sharp. He went into the parents' duty to see that the daughter is married to a suitable husband, young man. This was a lot of discussion yesterday at Shanmari Swami's class about that. The parents who are expressing some frustration. Parents who had girls or daughters expressing frustration about not having gotten a nice young responsible man yet for their daughters. It is a point of contention, but we also should remember that Krishna is in control of everything. In the end, whatever's going to happen to every child will in fact happen according to the Lord's plan if we surrender to the Lord. So that is one thing that, while we're in real anxiety about when will our daughters get married, we should also be aware of that. Krishna is not sleeping. So then he talked about Alpha made us less intelligent, Sumi is very nicely intelligent. And of course, when he talks about this, and before we started, actually, I was talking to Madam Sri about this whole thing about, they said, okay, women are less intelligent. Srila Prabhupada has written Shastra for the next 10,000 years. And the next 10,000 years, you have to understand that quality of life is going to be degraded. And when people are not brought to the proper understanding of the standard of spirituality, they are going to be degraded. And when people are degraded, and the women who get degraded, the women who go after men, and there will be unwanted children. This is one of the worries of Arjuna. He's right. Materially, he's right in thinking that way. But that can happen. And so it's more on us now as devotees to spread the holy name and spread our understanding about Shastra as it's been explained by Spiritual Master and by Lord Gauranga to us. We really, really, really are very, very much required to try to bring down the distress that's going to come if the powers that be now still go on with their plans. it's going to bring quite a bit of turmoil. And so we have a lot of work to do. And as far as people talk, well, women are less intelligent, properly decided. Prabhupada's already explained when somebody comes to devotional life, he is most intelligent. He's already said that. So. And then I also said that these shastras were written for the next 10,000 years, and there will be degradation at that time. Even the men will be less intelligent. So it's a difficult situation that we all have to prepare for and prepare the weapons, the scriptural weapons, and the activities of the chanting of the holy name to combat. Spiritual, my Guru Maharaj called spiritual warfare. So he tended to call the Buddhists spiritual warriors, like that. We have the job to do. And of course, when it comes to the body, we're not these bodies. So we're souls. The Prabhupada has already said that. And when he talks about women, he usually refers to common guy as being less intelligent, but not the Buddha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, actually, as you were speaking about intelligence, I remember a class. It's given by one of Prabhupada disciples, female. I don't remember. I want to say it was either Mother Rukmini or Mother Malati. I don't remember. But I remember them saying that when a woman takes to Krishna consciousness, then she's very intelligent. She's not less intelligent, because when Prabhupada is mentioning intelligence, he's talking more the material intelligence. Is what I was informed by by the senior Prabhupada disciples that mentioned that. So that was one thing I wanted to share. Yes, Mother Geeta, please, Mother, go ahead.
Yes, you're right. I was going to point that out about difference between material intelligence and spiritual. And one point that I remembered, which I was looking for reference, and I got it in this lecture, was that after marriage, the daughter is not required to, be responsible for her parents' well-being, in the sense, I know many ladies, Matajis, who are devotees, and even after marriage, they go all the way out thinking it's their duty to continue to take care of parents while creating friction in the marriage. So that was a very important point. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you so much. Yes. And thank you for bringing that point about the intelligence. Yeah, material and spiritual. Yeah, that is one point that I've heard from many Prabhupada disciples. So thank you for emphasizing and reiterating that point, Mother. Any other points from devotees? Any thoughts that's coming to your mind before we wrap up? Yes,
Hare
Nitya
Krishna.
Gopal, go ahead. Except mine, August Prabhupada.
Yeah, my takeaway was, what Parikshit Prabhuji mentioned. Yajne Sankirtan prior yajanti hisumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent person perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. So that was wonderful takeaway for me.
Thank you. And also how Prabhupada ended. Come to Hare Krishna mantra and chant.
Yes, yeah.
I like how he ended it, Yeah, that's just the whole goal. Yeah, because each one of us, male or female, regardless of the body, we're going to, Kali Yuga progresses. The only hope is the holy name. Absolutely. Thank you. That was a really nice. It's so powerful how much we are always reminded about the holy name, the holy name, the holy name. Such a wonderful point. Yes, Mother Geeta.
So a thought occurred to me that, Srila Prabhupada explained so nicely that women are less intelligent. And as you also have heard, that they're talking about material intelligence. But unfortunately, a lot of husbands, take that so literally, in the sense, they try to put down their wives, saying that, Prabhupada said, you are less intelligent. Krishna said, you are less intelligent. So you don't use your intelligence. Let me use my intelligence, to control you. So it's very important we understand reference to the context and not just, I know one a lady, I asked her, are you reading Bhagavad Gita? She said yes. So I asked, oh, are you reading chapter by chapter? And she said, no, I close my eyes and I open the page, whichever comes out open, that's the verse I read. And then she would have these weird questions, and I would tell her, well, if you read verse number 10, please go back and read few more verses so you will understand what is Krishna trying to say. You can't just pick one verse and then start arguing about it. So that's one
Because
point I
mother,
think.
there is a flow before the verses, right? That's, I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes. Whenever I am preparing for a lecture and I get confused with the purport, I will ask my husband, and first thing he says, tell me what's the previous verse. That's the first
Yes.
thing, to understand what is the context.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
In fact, even Chandramali Swami too, I've heard him, where he would go back and then he would touch on the next one, and then he will speak on the current. And yes, there's a context, and we just can't take it blindly. We just can't quote on it blindly. Yes, very nice point, Mother. Thank you. And thank you for bringing the point up about, we should not take Prabhupada's words blindly and really understand, and especially in a marriage, not to take the women as less intelligent, and really look at it between material and spiritual. And because I think there's also a point, and I'm trying to remember where Srila Prabhupada or one of his disciples said that Srila Prabhupada said that when a woman takes to Krishna consciousness, they are very intelligent and they're very qualified. He said something like that too, in fact, women are more spiritual, I think is what he says, when they take to Krishna consciousness. That's a quote somewhere. I have to look for the reference.
Yes, it's there in
Right,
Bhagavad
Mother?
Gita
Yes.
also. Yes. And Prabhupada also says whenever there is a spiritual gathering, mostly women would be found there because they're more spiritually inclined. Yes. If we have time, I can relate one story about this.
Please, Mother, please.
Okay. So this I had heard long time ago, that there was a couple devotee, as many years ago, and her name was Ranka and Banka. Ranka was husband and Banka was the wife. So they were walking, and while they were walking on the road, and in those Vedic days, the wife used to walk behind, at least 10 feet behind, never,
Krishna.
not on the same, at the same, side by side or in front. So she was walking behind, 10 feet behind, and excuse me. So all of a sudden, Ranka noticed that there was a pile of gold coins on the road, right in the middle of the road. And he started thinking that, oh, if my wife sees this, she will get attracted to gold, and then what will happen to her spiritual life? So he immediately took some dirt and he started covering the gold coins. While he was doing that, his wife, Banka, tapped on his shoulder and said, Prabhu, why are you covering dirt with dirt? You see, why are you covering dirt with dirt? And he realized, oh, Krishna, my wife is more advanced than I am. She considers gold as dirt, and I'm considering gold as gold. You see? So I just thought about this story.
That's a very nice story, Mother. Yeah, because sometimes we tend to forget that there are great souls, like even Mother Janava. She was a spiritual master, and she had disciples, and there are so many examples that we have in our Shastra of great women who were very intelligent, that was, and again, like Mother Janava, who had men as her disciples, and she was very elevated because of the intelligence. But yes, thank you, Mother. Yes, you're
Hare
right.
Krishna,
I remember
Mataji.
the lecture. Yes, go ahead, Nitya Gopal.
Yeah, I mean, that is such a wonderful story. It comes from this devotee Ranka and Banka comes in the Maharashtrian, they are during the time of Sant Namdev. And I heard read that story. There's very interesting part behind that is, one of the Namdev asked, these are such a pure devotion, what you call garib, like such a less wealthy people, they don't have anything to eat. Ask the Namdev to Lord Vittal, why don't you give something them to so that they will be living nicely? And Lord Vittal says, I'm giving everything, but they are not accepting. And Namdev says, I can't believe it. So then I want to see it. And then, okay, if you want to see it, okay, here you go. And that scene comes, so Lord puts that gold on the way while they are going. And both the Namdev and Lord hides and see what happens. And then Lord says that, see, these devotees, they don't ask anything other than me. So that was, happened.
Very nice.
Oh, thank you so much for the reference. Can you please type it out so next time I can give the reference? Thank you.
Sure, Mataji. It was Namdev asking Lord Vittal, why don't you help Ranka and Baka? So they are so poor. And then the Lord says that, I try to help, but they are not taking anything. And this is, example. Yeah.
So who was Namdev?
Namdev is one of the Sant, Mataji, during around 1400, during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice pastime. Yes. And you're right. Mother Gita, also to say, that Srila Prabhupada did say in one lecture, now that he mentioned it, I remember I heard it before. In any spiritual gathering, you'll see more of the women because they are spiritually inclined. And the story that you and Nitya Gopal just shared, that the women, that the wife is saying, why are you covering dirt over dirt? Yes, because when a woman becomes very spiritual, they take it very seriously because of the spiritual intelligence. Thank you so much for sharing both the pastimes, Mother Gita and Nitya Gopal Prabhu. Thank you so much. That was a nice story. Pastime, I have to say, not story, pastime. Thank you. Any other last points before we end this class? Any other thoughts that's coming to your mind? Just a humble reminder that we will be continuing with Srimad Bhagavad Gita this evening at 6 o'clock at chapter 2, verse 7, as from Srila Prabhupada. So please do join us to hear from Srila Prabhupada again tonight at 6 o'clock online. Until then, thank you so much for all your sharing and reflections and discussions. Such a powerful discussion and learning. Thank you so much. Vancha Krapatubhyascha, Kripasindabevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Hare
Thank
Bol.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.